As part of Europe danced away the 1930s, the Nazis marched. On the 1st of September 1939, the people of Poland once again heard their national alarm call. It heralded the most severe threat they'd ever faced. The unique bugle call was first heard in 1214, when the sentry on St. Mary's Tower in Krakow was shot in the throat as he warned of the Tatar invasion. From Poland, the military bands of the Warsaw District and the District of Pomerania commemorate the wartime links between the Free Polish Forces and Great Britain with a march, Sky Eagles, composed by their musical director, Colonel Julian Wiatowski. Overhead in the arena, the Spitfire, flown by the Free Polish Airmen who joined the RAF. Play a medley of Polish songs of the Second World War, a salute to Poland. Bandsmen wearing the plumed uniforms of the infantry of 1806, the uniform of the modern Polish Air Force, and the colourful cavalry uniforms from the Napoleonic War. bands of the Polish Armed Forces. And they leave the arena with a final tribute to their British wartime colleagues, meeting them again in the happier circumstances of the Royal Tournament. Welcoming the crowds here at Earls Court, a Hawk trainer from the Red Arrows, celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. And of course, this event is a showcase, not just for the Air Force, but for all the armed services. In the interval, the crowds escape from the main arena to climb over the latest in military hardware and any number of demonstrations and challenges. And it's all part of the serious purpose of recruiting for the 1990s and the next century, when youngsters of joining up age are going to be in shorter supply. The man's life of the future, although I don't suppose I'm allowed to say that in the month that the RAF has allowed women to become pilots of non-combat aircraft.
You are seeing a maritime patrol aircraft who's trying.
And also here at the Earls Court Arena, there's a glimpse of military history. In 1899, the British Army was besieged by the Boers at Ladysmith. The Royal Navy landed naval guns in South Africa from HMS Terrible and HMS Powerful. Some were hauled across country by oxen, but others, mounted on wheels and axles, were dragged over bad terrain by the ship's crews. The speed of the Royal Navy's overland journey and the accuracy of their firepower saw off the Boers in just 1 hour. Ladysmith was relieved, Britain celebrated, and there was born a competition which has been described as the toughest sport in the world.
Stand by, sit-ups, alternate V-sit, stand by.
Well, certainly their training would be a contender as toughest in the world.
Straight, on, speed. Fast we are, still levels, here we come. Drive it out, push and go.
Teams from Devonport, Portsmouth and the Fleet Air Arm each year recreate that epic journey on a competition course as the Royal Naval Field Gun Competition. And the field gunners are by no means ceremonial troops. They're working seamen, manning ships like HMS Cumberland. Still gunners, perhaps. Or communication specialists. Or marine engineers.
Captain, sir. Immediate enemy report.
What the competition generates with its training and discipline is the quality of strength and endurance and team spirit invaluable in the running of a modern high-tech naval unit patrolling the world's sea lanes.
Action stations, action stations.
So welcome to the arena, the teams of 18 strong men from the Fleet Air Arm and Devonport. The Fleet Air Arm, under their trainer, Chief Petty Officer Air Engineering Mechanic George Cousins. And nearest to the Royal Box, the team from Devonport. In this grueling competition, these two teams will haul a ton of antique equipment on 3 runs: the run out, the run back and the run home. Over the home walls, across an imaginary chasm 29 feet wide. and then over the enemy wall. They wait for the order to start from Battery Commander, Lieutenant Commander Ken Mather.
The record for the competition is a time of 2 minutes, 40.6 seconds. The Thunder Press is ignited. The bugle blows.
They take the strain, and then off. Devonport edging slightly ahead as they go over the home wall, dragging these 12-pounder field guns with their limbers. First of all, the limber, 345 pounds of that. Up go the sheer legs. Fleet Air Arms slightly ahead perhaps at this stage. They swing across that chasm. If anything's dropped into that chasm, it's an offence on a par with court-martial. The 10-foot spars are swung across. The wires up, and they get ready to bring the first piece of equipment across. The wheels, weighing 120 pounds each. Safely across the chasm. Then the gun carriage, 350 pounds of that. The wheels reassembled in readiness for the arrival of the big piece of equipment, the gun barrel, 900 pounds, and moved like a tin toy. Heading for the enemy wall. Fleet Air Arm perhaps slightly ahead. The limber on its side, wheels off, through the enemy wall. They have to get their guns up there, set up and fire 3 rounds. Fleet Air Arm well ahead. And their first fired round. And at the end of the run out, the times. Fleet Air Arm, 1 minute 28.09. Devonport, 1 minute 31.09. The adjudicators checking that the 3 rounds have been properly fired, that the drill has been properly carried out, that penalty points haven't been incurred. The bugle prepares for the run back. There's so much interest in this competition that the results of each of these runs is signalled to naval units round the world. Fleet Air Arm back on the ramp first, with their wheels, back across that chasm. And to give you an idea of the added weight of all this lot together, what they're carrying across here is the weight of a saloon car. The gun barrel. Amazing endurance these men have got. The gun carriage across the chasm. It was only in 1948 that they had the first 4-minute run. In 1962 it was down to 3 minutes. The present record is 2 minutes 40.6 seconds. The Flying Angel, the last man across the chasm. The sheer legs are down. And the rounds are fired at the end of the run back. The timings, Fleet Air Arm, 2 minutes 28.66. Devonport, 2 minutes 35.48. The current holders of the record, with that 2 minutes 40, are Portsmouth. Men who've trained for the sort of exhaustion they have to put up with here. Ready for the final run home. The equipment, wheels off, back through that hole in the wall. Everything timed like clockwork. The gun and limber assembled, and they haul for home. Those 2 18-man teams, every muscle strained to the limit. And the Fleet Air Arm go across the line first. And the final accumulated timings, taking into account penalty points. Fleet Air Arm, 2 minutes 50.59. Devonport, 3 minutes 06.09. Now, while the field gun teams get their breath back, we have a touch of Ill Met by Moonlight. Imagine the scene. A remote Royal Air Force base in darkest Earl's Court, but the guards challenge an intruder. One of the guards is shot,
It's ignored. The dog.
but the dog gets his man, of course.
It brings down the intruder and holds him down until his policeman handler arrives.
But there are more intruders. Intruders by the busload, it seems. Will they overpower